A lion was born without a drop of nobility in his blood.
So there's a whole lot to unpack when it comes to Disney's latest live-action ventures. I mean, did you hear about that Mufasa prequel? It's like they're redoing The Lion King all over again. But hey, there's some good news too. Apparently this new Mufasa movie is bringing some fresh changes that we couldn't have seen in the 2019 remake, and that's not all. Disney's got their hands on a bunch of other classics too, turning them into live-action remakes. Let's dig into all of it. Despite being marketed as a prequel to the beloved classic The Lion King, Disney's Mufasa The Lion King seems to echo its predecessor rather closely, based on its recently released synopsis. This 2024 musical drama film is part of Disney's expansive franchise, which began with the animated film in 1994 and was later reimagined as a live-action adaptation in 2019. Mufasa The Lion King delves into the backstory of Mufasa, the father of Simba, who meets a tragic end in the original movie. Given its status as a prequel, fans anticipated fresh storylines, characters, and narratives that could answer lingering questions from the first film. However, the synopsis hints at a narrative that closely mirrors the events of The Lion King. It raises questions about what Mufasa was like before becoming the lion we know, his journey in discovering himself, his interactions within his community, and his relationships with loved ones. Despite the potential for new revelations, there's concern that Mufasa the Lion King might tread too closely into familiar territory. That said, we don't have all the juicy details yet, but this prequel dives deep into Mufasa's past. Imagine going back in time to see him as a cub growing up in Pride Rock. A big part of the story will likely be about his relationship with Scar, his younger brother. We all know they turn into bitter rivals, so it will be interesting to see how that all started. There's also a chance we'll finally get the full story behind Scar's, Scar. Plus, the actor playing Scar hinted that he used to be a sweet young lion. This movie could show us what twisted him into the villain we know. And of course, it wouldn't be a Mufasa story without seeing him meet and fall in love with Simba's mom, Sarabi. The movie might even show his coronation as king. But wait, there's more! Director Barry Jenkins says this isn't just a straight-up prequel. Apparently, it might be inspired by The Godfather Part 2, which weaves together two different timelines. So imagine this. We might see glimpses of Simba ruling Pride Rock as king, while also seeing flashbacks of Mufasa's journey to get there. Pretty cool, huh? To get you hyped for the release, here's the latest update on Mufasa the Lion King. At a recent movie event, Disney showed off a sneak peek of the movie with a teaser trailer. We saw glimpses of a young Mufasa alongside never-before-seen locations in the Lion King world, including snowy mountains and lush forests. The trailer was narrated by Rafiki, but it's not clear if it'll be released online or if it's just part of a longer trailer coming soon. Mark your calendars. The live-action prequel hits theaters on December 20th, 2024. Originally planned for July, the release date got pushed back a bit. By the way, if you want to revisit the 2019 Lion King movie, you can stream it on Disney Plus right now. Speaking of the cast, Mufasa the Lion King will feature some fresh voices for younger versions of familiar characters. James Earl Jones won't be voicing young Mufasa this time. Instead, the role goes to Aaron Pierre. Similarly, a new actor, Kelvin Harrison Jr., will take over the role of young Scar, originally played by Jeremy Irons and Chiwetel Ejiofor. Even though the prequel takes place before the events of the original Lion King, Timon and Pumbaa will still be narrating the story. Get ready to hear Seth Rogen and Billy Eichner back in those iconic roles. John Caney is also confirmed to return as Rafiki, and the director hinted that there might be even more familiar faces popping up in this live-action prequel. While Mufasa the Lion King is generating a lot of buzz, it's just one chapter in Disney's ongoing live-action story. Believe it or not, there are over a dozen other live-action Disney movies in the works. It makes sense, considering how well these reimaginings of classic cartoons have done at the box office. Get ready for a wave of live-action Disney for years to come, including sequels, prequels, spin-offs, and maybe even TV shows based on these beloved characters. It all started with the 2016 live-action remake of The Jungle Book. Since then, Disney's been taking their treasure trove of animated classics and transforming them into brand new CGI-filled live-action experiences. These reimagined classics have been huge hits for Disney. Beauty and the Beast raked in over $1.2 billion worldwide, while The Jungle Book wowed critics and audiences, earning a cool $966 million globally. Even Aladdin, despite initial doubts, became a billion-dollar success story. Cinderella, Maleficent, and Pete's Dragon all found their own fan base too. Remember when everyone was worried Disney would remake their entire library? Well, guess what? Most fans are actually excited to see these new takes on beloved characters, and Disney isn't slowing down anytime soon. Here's a sneak peek at what's coming up next. First up is the highly anticipated live-action remake of Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs. This movie is a big deal. It's the same story that basically launched Disney almost 100 years ago. The script is in the hands of talented writers like Greta Gerwig, and the music will be composed by the team behind La La Land. West Side Story breakout Rachel Zegler takes on the iconic role of Snow White, with Wonder Woman herself, Gal Gadot, as the evil queen. This won't be your grandma's Snow White, though. The story is getting a refresh, with Snow White having more control over her own destiny and the prince being a more complex character. Moving on to Lilo and Stitch. This is the first Disney movie from the 2000s to get the live-action treatment. Details are scarce so far, but we do know it'll blend live-action with CGI and is likely headed straight to Disney+. Production started in 2023, but hit a snag due to a strike. So far, the casting news is exciting. Zach Galifianakis will be voicing Pleakley, and newcomer Maya Kealoha will play Lilo. Stitch's original voice actor, Chris Sanders, is even returning for the role. Moana is getting a live-action remake too. This is a bit of a surprise, since Moana is a more recent movie compared to the classics they've been remaking so far. There's also Moana 2 coming out this year in November. Dwayne Johnson will be back to voice Maui, but Auli Cravalho won't be playing Moana this time. She will be a producer on the movie, though. Just like the original, the live-action Moana is expected to be a big musical. Another 90s classic, The Hunchback of Notre Dame, is also getting a live-action remake. Josh Gad might play Quasimodo and sing in the movie, which will reportedly be a musical like the original. However, there's some uncertainty about this project. Disney composer Alan Menken mentioned the importance of handling sensitive topics in the movie and hinted that the project might be on hold. The Aristocats is another live-action remake in the works. This one will be a live-action/animated hybrid, meaning real sets and actors will be used, but the cats will be animated. This project is in the hands of Questlove, who will make his directorial debut with the movie. Disney's 1997 Hercules movie is also getting a live-action remake. The Russo brothers, who directed Avengers Endgame, will be producers, and Guy Ritchie, who directed the live-action Aladdin, is set to direct. It's not clear yet if it will be a musical or how closely it will follow the original story. The critically acclaimed Cruella got the green light for a sequel. Emma Stone is expected to return along with the rest of the original cast. The story will likely be another chapter in Cruella de Vil's journey to becoming the villain we know from 101 Dalmatians. And that's that for today's video. Thanks for watching, and we will see you in the next one. Your suggestions for future videos are always welcome in the comments below.